Greetings, family, and welcome to another episode of Dr. Mumbi's Spiritual Show. My name is Dr. mumbi.seraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do hope, family, that you are, healing yourself, that you are putting yourself first. I don't want to say that you're being selfish, but you're being self first. That you're moving self first and you're making your healing your absolute number one priority. Because right now, family, we are going through a total reset within our bodies. There's a lot of things that Babylon tries to, they say it's like a slip of the tongue. Like it's a truth. It's like a lie hidden in a truth. They say like global reset, this, that. But we are actually resetting every cell in our bodies. We're resetting every thought in our minds. We're resetting every emotion in our hearts. And so this is such a critical time and such a critical season, family. And so I really just wanted to come on here to encourage you to not fear your emotions. If you feel like crying, cry. I did another show the other day where I was like in tears. I was talking about why a lot of chosen ones, our reputation was totally annihilated. But if you feel like crying, cry. If you feel angry, don't run away from your anger. Because a lot of our pain, a lot of our memories, a lot of our trauma is blocked in our body memory, family. And as every cell is replaced, every trauma and every memory must come up for review so that it can be released forever and enter the halls of time, the Akashic records, whatever you want to call it, our previous book of life. It can now just be centered there because we are in the new world. We're in, some of us 5D, some of us 7D, some of us 22D. But we're in a new reality. And the one way you know if you're in a new reality is if you're looking different. Most people are looking better, which means they've graduated up. But there's some people you'll see online and offline who are looking a little bit worse off, family, which means they're in another world. And there's no competition. There's so much. It's like we've broken out of this prison planet. And now it's like a soul retrieval. And we have to release certain things from here, which is why our emotions are coming up for review. And we also have to recognize that one of the biggest lies we were ever told, family, is this thing about good and bad. You have to have a little bit of creator in you and a little bit of destroyer in you. You have to have the so-called positive and negative in you. And you have to achieve that balance. Your responsibility, your goal now is not to repress your anger. It's not to repress your words. Because we heal through speaking. We're liberated by our voice. We're liberated by sharing our story, sharing our testimony. So you now just have to learn how to do it in a way that is not destructive to those you love. Or if it is destructive, it's to destroy all that was wicked, all that has held you back, all that has caused disease, all that has caused imbalance and instability. And also, family, don't be afraid if you find yourself sometimes just a little weepy. Because so much is happening. And you know what? It's like as we change each and every one of ourselves, it somehow affects like Mama Earth and everything is just changing and being reborn. Everything is it's not even resurrection because it's not being brought back to life. It's being born anew. So a lot of us are already there or on our way there to the new heaven on earth. Because remember, it's a mental reality and an emotional state first. So many of us, our environments have changed since we started this journey almost in 2020. I feel 2020 is when we got on that jet, got on that spaceship and took off. But especially now, family, with all the full moons and the new moons and the energy, and then so many people being aware of the energies, everything is extremely amplified. So you may be feeling over emotional. If memories come up for release, don't run away from them, because that can never happen to you again. And you see, I read somewhere the other day that we're stuck at the first point that we didn't get love. There's others that say we're trapped in the age that we experienced our first trauma, or those ages where we experienced trauma and the trauma was not resolved. We're stuck there. And I found that to be true, because I think when trauma happens, we either have to grow up so fast, or we miss out on our childhood, or we miss out on a certain time in our lives. And I really found in my own life, especially last year, there were a lot of things that I felt I missed out on in my 20s that I got to enjoy and experience and release that thing of like, I missed something. But those are stories for other days. So allow yourself to feel, family. That's why journaling is good. That's why we have to be so much in nature, because when you're in these square houses and these square rooms, the energy has nowhere to go. It just goes and bounces back. That's why so many people are suicidal when they're in their homes or their offices or in these boxes. But nature absorbs so much for us, family. So much. For absolutely free. Or at least you can always give thanks to Mama Nature. We honor Mama Nature as always. And one last thing I will say, although I think I'll make it a separate show, is not all emotions that you feel are your emotions. And so learn to differentiate between what you're feeling and what you're feeling for yourself, and what you're just feeling in terms of the community. Because a lot of us our souls have expanded. And we're already empaths. So we're not just, we're wider, we're more expanded than we may think. And so we're feeling so much more of what it had, the consciousnesses around us. That's why a lot of us choose to go to the villages, family. Because being in a city right now with that consciousness of the city and millions of people in all kinds of, and their thoughts not being cleared out, just bouncing off each other, bouncing off the walls, bouncing off all the concrete, not being absorbed. It's a lot when you reach certain spiritual levels. But maybe I'll do a separate show on that. So thank you, guys. We have started a TikTok, Dr. Mumbi Spirituals. Definitely follow us on there. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel and our main channel, Dr. Mumbi Show. And thanks to everyone that supports us through Patreon and PayPal. Definitely consider supporting us, even through sponsoring a show by advertising a product or service on our channels. Tuko pamoja.